A Igreja Adventista do Sétimo Dia tem aproximadamente 18 milhões de membros em todo o mundo. Pessoas de diferentes etnias, diferentes culturas, diferentes maneiras de enxergar o próprio mundo. Como manter a visão e a unidade de uma igreja com tantas diferenças étnico-culturais? É o que nós vamos tentar entender hoje no SNTV, conversando com um dos vice-presidentes da Igreja Adventista, o pastor Lowell Cooper, que está na Associação Geral da Igreja Adventista desde o ano de 1994 já, com uma grande experiência liderando várias reuniões mundiais. A partir de agora, confira a nossa entrevista com ele. Pastor, how to manage the church with a lot of opinions, a lot of influence, and how to keep the unity of this church with more than 18 million members in the world?
The more the church grows, the more we have a realization of diversity in the church in languages, cultures, ideas, attitudes, behaviors, and so forth. I think what brings unity to a global family such as the Seventh-day Adventist Church is, first of all, our commitment to Jesus Christ. That is the magnetism that first of all draws us together. When we submit to the Lordship of Jesus Christ in our lives, then we find how that begins to address other things about our lives. Our relationship with other people, our attitudes towards others who are different from us. We begin to see other people as children of God also, that God highly values them. So these kinds of things, this commitment to God, is the first thing that helps to develop unity. Beyond that, we have other structures in our church. We have common beliefs that we practice. We have patterns of worship. We have a global Bible study guide in our Sabbath schools. We have structure, organizational structure that helps to hold us together. But these are lesser aids. The first thing is our submission to the Lordship of Jesus. That is what builds unity. Jesus himself said that this would be the way that people recognize his followers and recognize their unity.
Okay, that's the internal situation, but how to keep the unity with a lot of influence outside, influence that comes of the role, of the other ideas that can threat the church. How to keep the unity in despite of a lot of influence or bad or influence that the church receives?
It is true that the church lives in an environment of the world that is very different from the values that the church believes in and that the church wants to project. I think it is important that Seventh-day Adventists become known not for what they are against or for what they don't do, but for things that they affirm. I think there are several areas in which the Seventh-day Adventist Church can make a contribution to world thinking and to cultural thinking. First of all is a sense of purpose in living a spiritual life, that it brings purpose to our lives. It brings, I think Seventh-day Adventists should be the happiest people on the earth. I think secondly, there's the sense of community, that we have learned how to bridge our differences and live as a community, recognizing that we are people from all different countries, all different backgrounds, different educational attainments and so forth. But we can show the world how to be an alternative community to the world. I think there's a third aspect, and that is health. We have been given much information about healthful living. Seventh-day Adventists should be the healthiest people on the planet. And I think something in that, in our health message, that we need to emphasize is the value of the Sabbath. The Sabbath not only as a doctrine, but the Sabbath as an experience of relationship and an experience of rest from labor. I think there's a fourth thing that we can bring to the world, and that is the idea of showing unselfish service, Christ-like ministry. If the Seventh-day Adventist church globally can become known for these things, a happy church, a joyful church, a community where people of difference can learn to live together, that we have a message of health, that we have a message of joy and purpose in our lives, and that we have an activity, we have a practice of serving others, then our identity in the world becomes a positive identity, not a negative identity.
A SNTV fica por aqui. Se você quiser saber mais informações, mais notícias da Igreja Adventista, acesse esse site e você vai ficar por dentro do que os adventistas fazem no mundo, na América do Sul, e assim você conhecerá um pouco mais a respeito de nossas crenças também. Continue conosco, um grande abraço e até a próxima.